Hi everyone, welcome to my video. This month I'm going to show you some different ways that you can color images in. I'm going to use this flower image from the Bloom and Grow set. And what I did is I stamped it in Versamark and I embossed it with white embossing powder. And the first technique I'm going to demonstrate is using reinkers. And I have a little paint wells here that I put some drops of different colors in. And I'm going to use my aqua painter. Now, what I like to do when I do this type of technique is to kind of pick up a little bit of the color and then add it with some water, and I kind of squeeze so that I get something that's very diluted color here. And I did emboss this on watercolor paper because I'm going to be adding quite a bit of water, so I wanted the paper to be able to hold up to the coloring. So what I like to do first is just kind of do a wash of color. And if you notice why I like to do the embossing is because it's really easy to stay within the lines. So if I do kind of just a wash of color, it gets everything the same color. And then I can come back and I can pick up some color, deeper color that's not diluted. And I still want to keep it diluted. It's always easier to add more color. Taking color away is a lot more difficult. So I can kind of come in and I can add a little bit more color in some areas. I can go back and spread the color that I've added around. And one thing you do want to note is that when it dries, it's going to be a little different. So sometimes I sit back and wait a little bit just to see how the colors dry. So let me show you one that I've already finished and that's already dry. And that would be this one right here. So you can see that you get quite a bit of color variation by doing that. Now I'm going to show you a second technique that you can do, and that is using the pigment sprinkles that we have. And they come in a box like this, watercolor crystals, pigment sprinkles. And we are going to use 3 of them. We have the Granny Apple Green, the Mellow Mambo, and the Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to clean off my aqua painter because I'm also going to use an aqua painter with this. And I'm going to take a white piece of paper and put this under here to catch my sprinkles. And I have another image that I've also white embossed on watercolor paper. Now, this has the caps, and you just unscrew the caps. And then there is a little flip top. Now, your hands might get messy with this. So now I'm going to tell you that when I use the Granny Apple Green, it comes out orange. And I actually thought that maybe they had put the wrong color in the bottle. However, when you add water to it, it is green. So because this is kind of going to be a mix of colors, if you want to be super exacting with this, you would actually reconstitute this with water, like in the little paint palette that I had, and then you could use it that way. But I want to do this technique where it's just a little more abstract. So I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of powder on the leaf areas. Just a couple of little crystals in each little leaf. You really don't need a lot. And then I'm going to do the melon on the outside flowers. And I'm just going to do part of it because I have one that's already done. And then on the Bermuda Bay, I'm going to do the large flowers. And just be careful that you don't put too much on there because it really is saturated color. Okay, so I'm going to take my pen and I'll show you what the green looks like as soon as it picks up. You see how vibrant and dark that is? So a little bit goes a long way. The pigment sprinkles will give you a lot more saturated color versus using a reinker. And then when you go to do a different color, you want to make sure that you've cleaned your blender, your aqua painter really well. And then this would be the pink. And I'm not really staying in the lines. You'll see my finished one, what I did when I cut it out. So this is what the pink looks like. And what I like is that the more pigment sprinkle that's there, the deeper, the more saturated the color. So you're actually going to get color variations in the pigment sprinkles. And then we'll go to the purple and you'll see, or the, sorry, not the purple, the Bermuda Bay. You'll see how dark that is. And you'll also notice, possibly, that there's different shades of that Bermuda. And let me show you one that I've already finished and has dried. Now this one I used different colors of the pigment sprinkles. This one I used the Gorgeous Grape. I still used the green, and I used, I believe this was actually the Melon Mambo. So you can see how you get lots of variations in color. Even in the Gorgeous Grape, there's almost some green here that was in the purple. So just a different look. Now I have two other ways of coloring that I've already completed just so that I could show you. This is the same image stamped with the Memento ink and colored with the Blendabilities. And this was not done on watercolor paper. This is just the thick white cardstock. So different look. And then the last one I did is also black embossed, or this one is black embossed on white, thick white cardstock. This one I used the watercolor pencils with a blender pen, and then I took the Wink of Stella pen and just went all over it, and I'm hoping that the camera picks up the glisten that the Wink of Stella adds. So 4 different ways that you can color in the same image, and you'll notice that you get very different looks. So I hope you found that helpful, and we'll see you next time.